Hi and welcome to my channel That's So Blessing. Today I'm not even showing you how to bleach knots. I'm showing you how to give the girl scalp. I'm going to be breaking everything down step by step, and guess what? It's beginner friendly. Where else are you going to get that at? Stay tuned. The bleach I'm using today, BW2, and this is how much bleach I'm putting. I'm sorry I lost the blue measuring cup that comes in the thing. I typically don't use it. I wanted to use it for the other day, but I don't have it. So that's how much I have in my bowl. And now I'm gonna follow up with developer. I'm using Salon Care in 40 developer, just a little bit at a time. I'm pretty much just gonna stir and look for a thick consistency like toothpaste. Stirring, this is what my consistency looks like. It's really not moving at all. So I'm gonna add a little bit more developer because I need to be able to like spread it easily. This is the consistency I'm looking for. It's not falling off too easily. Coming off when I shake it. If you can shake it real crazy and nothing comes off, it's too thick. So now what I'm gonna do is flip it over and comb all the baby hairs backward. You can use a little bit of hairspray to help you, but you pretty much just want to make sure those baby hairs are out of the way. So we are only bleaching the knots. What I like to do is gather most of the products on the tip of my brush. It's the part of the brush I'm going to use the most. So I gather most of it on the tip of the brush, and I'm going to lift the frontal up, and I'm going to start in the back, because that's where like the bigger knots usually are, and I'm gonna work my way to the front. Starting from the back also allows me to kind of get a feel for the consistency to see if I need to adjust it or adjust like my pressure before going in the front where the baby hairs are, the part that's gonna be like most visible. I'm not pushing hard at all. I'm applying the bleach on as many knots as possible. It's okay if you don't get all of the knots. Your focus should be basically like your pressure. I did get some on the hair, that's okay. We can worry about that later. I'm just slowly working my way towards the hairline. And what I like to do is go a little in front of the baby hairs, just to make sure that we have them all covered. So like, I'm almost out of product. So what I'm gonna do is wipe the excess on the edge of the bowl and then put it back on the tip of my brush. Because when your product gets low and you start using the bottom bristles, I find that it's usually too much pressure and you get like seep through. And we don't want that. My pressure is pretty light. If you feel like you're having a hard time spreading it, you may want to add some more developer. Outside of that, just pretty much take your time. Alrighty. So this is how we're looking. Now I'm going to flip over and just double check my saturation. Make sure that only the knots are covered, which is the case. Like you can kind of look in between and see that like just the knots are covered. We didn't get any of the hair, which is the goal. As far as the hair, the bleach that got on the hair, I'm just gonna wipe that away. So just using a damp paper towel, wiping that away. And I'm gonna leave this just like this. I'm gonna check it at 20 minutes, and then from there, I'll see how much more time is needed, because I'm not really going by time. I'm going by how the knots look. Okay guys, let's talk about some tricks in terms of knowing when your knots are ready. It's inevitable that you're gonna get like a few strands in the bleach when you're bleaching the knots. So I don't know if y'all are gonna be able to tell, but this strand is like it's like a golden blonde, it's basically light brown, okay? So now I'm gonna flip it over and I'm gonna take a look at the knots. So like the knots are like an orangey brown, but when I part deeper, I feel like I wanna see lighter knots. So I'm just gonna leave it for a little bit longer. At this point, it has been about 8 minutes, which is, I'll be back. All right, so this is how we're looking. It's officially been 20 minutes. It's like they're basically orange, if I'm being honest. Orange. I'm gonna go ahead and wash it out. This is how we're looking. This is exactly why it is important to tone, because it's giving orange. I mean, some people like this. If you like this, you know, no shade. I'm gonna go ahead and wash it. I'm gonna use Garnier Fructis. So now I'm gonna tone. I'm gonna go in with Joico Purple Balance. Joico Purple Shampoo. I don't know. Here we go. Screenshot. So just gonna put some in my bowl. Just enough for the lace to be submerged. And then I'm just gonna give it a twirl around. Make sure the water is nice and purple. And then I'm gonna let my frontal soak. I can use a little more water. There we go. I'll let you know how much time it sits in there because I know y'all probably gonna wanna know. Kind of see the difference in the color and it's ready to wash out. It's been about 20 minutes. These are our finished results. Look at what it's giving on my arm. So just wait until you put it on your head. If there's anything I didn't cover or if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment. I'll get back with you. I know feet, die, what's it go?